All right. Hey, let me tell you something. Let me tell you what they want you to think. They want you to think you got to get up at 6 a.m. and own the morning, which the KWU Hoops, shout out to the basketball boys for this morning. We did own the morning today. They don't want you to think that you're allowed to have fun. They think it's the grind. Have you heard of the grind? Are your friends doing this? Are your families doing this? Are your people in your office? Dare I say it, you're watching people that might not be having fun. Their lives might be falling apart, but the numbers might be there in real estate. That's not what we're about today. What I want to talk to you guys about is running a business that is fun, one that builds trust with your network, and one that is going to be a literal dream. If you are somebody that was raised in and rooted in one area, it's going to be a dream. If you have a network of people that you know from your church, your basketball teams, your small groups, your groups that like to go out and drink, whatever, this is going to be for you. So what we're going to talk about today is client events. The name, you'll see it on the one-pager. They've got all that stuff available for you, which is fantastic. KW, anybody can help you find it. The reality is, you don't have to start out throwing 3,000-person events, which is what you're going to see on our one-pager. That is not where we started. The reality of where we started was a very humble beginning from a young man with a failed career with a home builder in 2018. When I got a real estate license, I was coming off of a year, I want to be transparent with you, of making $0 in commission sales for a home builder. Not because he didn't build a fantastic luxury home, but because I was in a new market. And if you're a business person, you know, in a new market with no credibility and an expensive product, there's probably somebody else that's more established, that's cheaper, that when they match your plans up and it's exactly the same, they might go with that other builder that has a little bit more credibility. So as a new salesperson for a builder, I had to look in the mirror every single morning as a complete failure, knowing that I'd sold 0 houses for someone that I dearly loved and was working for, and I had to reassess everything. And I'll never forget the day. There's a Keller Williams agent. He's getting a shout out. His name is Ryan Gillen. And it was the day that I saw a team leader at Keller Williams. Now, guys, I'm a basketball guy, a soccer guy. I played through college. I was the captain of the teams. I was never the best player. But what I had going for me was I'm a distributor. I'm the point guard making the passes. I'm the center midfielder setting someone else up to score. And at the end of the day, every team needs a captain that can set everyone else up to win. It's not about them doing everything. It's about orchestrating, facilitating, having a vision, and getting it done. So when I got into real estate, I saw someone who was running a team with people, having fun, and I thought, you know what? That looks like a good time. And as I've been working for this custom home builder, I've had friends from church ask me, oh, are you a realtor? Can you help us buy a house? And the answer was, well, no, I can help you build a $4 million house, but your budget's $150,000, so that's not going to work. So I already had leads coming in. And what I want you to know is that those relationships that already exist, you can tap into, you can take advantage of in a true friendship way, in a community way, and it can change your life. I got into real estate, and with the wise, sage advice of somebody at our office, she said, you're one of those people that should throw a launch party. Now, if you have not thrown a launch party and you're a new agent, it's probably not too late and you should do it. You can tell every single person in your network that you are launching this new career. You want them to come support you, and you can give them reasons, whether that is giveaways or food or all of the above in my case, some pulled pork sandwiches by my pastor and my former boss on the smoker. 175 people came out to celebrate the fact that I got a real estate license. Now, that sounds crazy, but when you have people and you're rooted and they love you, they love your family, they love the fact that you're getting into this and they want to truly support you, that's a heck of a bang to start out a career in real estate. So when you have a launch party, and it's literally, if you're me, probably bar none the best day of your life till that point. I was not married and didn't have a baby yet, for the record. It was the coolest thing ever to have all these people come and rally around me for the launch party. And when I finished, what do you think my thought was? How do I do that again? That was like the best thing that's ever happened. All my favorite people were there. They literally came for me. All right, cool. Do I throw a 1-year party? Do I throw a birthday party? Like, what do I do next? How do I get all these people to come back again? And I didn't have an answer. And that killed me because I loved that day. We have all the photos from that day. I can look back now, and I just said this. We had 175 people there, and I can promise you over 100 of them now are past clients of our business or a direct referral partner that's led to a sale in our business. Now, those were people that were not clients. So as we're talking about events today, don't confuse yourself and put the word client in front of the events that I'm about to tell you about. I want you to know this is a community event. Anyone is invited, and it can change your life and your business. So we took it from there. It was just me in 2019, and a trampoline park was my idea. I thought, hey, If I can invite all of the family members from my church to a trampoline park, they'll want to come bounce around. They'll want to have a good time, and I want it to be free. I don't want a single person to have to pay for a ticket to come to this trampoline park to hang out with us. We had 200 signups at our first ever event, and a lot of questions, which you're thinking right now, and I'm going to hit this right on the head for you. What's the catch, dude? Why are you inviting us to this trampoline park? What is the deal? What do you want? And who's going to give a presentation? What kind of sales pitch travel thing is this where you're going to get us with a presentation? The answer is don't present nothing, don't bother anybody, and just add value and watch your life change. So we started with one trampoline park event. After that, as an avid Cincinnati Reds fan, you can all come pat me on the back. It's a hard life being a Cincinnati sports fan until Joe Burrow came along, and then the defense gave up. So we got to figure that out. But as a Reds fan, we don't do a whole lot of winning, but we do have some darn cheap tickets to the game. I'll tell you that much. So what we did, and we, meaning this guy in 2019, to be honest, I don't know where the confidence came from. I don't know why I tried this. I just threw it out there on an Eventbrite link. It was probably RSVPify at the time. We love Eventbrite now if you're taking notes. We threw a link out there and said, anyone who wants a Reds ticket, you're welcome to come. Anybody can come. And the reality is there's no catch. It's going to be paid for. And when you show up, we're going to have a whole box of sunflower seeds from Sam's Club. Grab some and go in and enjoy the game. 225 people signed up. An unknown person, also known as my mother, was late in traffic. I didn't have admin help, and I stood there outside of Great American Ballpark with 225 tickets. As a line formed, my heartbeat went up, and thank goodness a woman who I just love forever from my church jumped in. She's administrative as all get out and said, let me help you. Took the tickets, started handing them out, getting things going, and I realized in that moment, okay, alone, this is really hard. So I'm going to acknowledge that for anybody in the room. If you're alone up front, you have to take some risks. You have to do some planning. You're going to have to be a little bit of a project manager, but at the end of the day, it's about the people. It's about being able to bring people together, offer something, and not expect anything in return. Now, let me pause for a second. Is it about the event? It's not about the event. The event is fun, and as you can tell from the first two, I picked a couple things that I really enjoyed doing. So there were a couple kids from our church. There's a family of 6 homeschoolers, you might have guessed, and they called them Danny parties. It was going around at the church that there was a Danny party. But the reality is the Danny party wasn't about 225 people showing up to the game. As much fun as that is, watching the Reds lose 14-2, great time for everybody. What it was about was the contacts beforehand. And if you run some math with me really quickly, somebody shouted out, how many touches are you supposed to get for each person in your sphere a year? 36, 40. If you run 4 events, not client events, events per year, you tell everyone in your database, your network, heck, everyone you've ever met that you got their phone number or their email address, that you're having an event, you email them in a TCPA compliant way, you call them and you invite them as a friend that wants them to have this opportunity. You can text them an Eventbrite link. You can make a Facebook invite and send it out to all of them. You can then go 1,000 different routes of communication with mailers and Facebook posts. I now have 2, because I'm psychotic, media members on my team, because it's 2025, people. If you're not leaning into media, you have to do it, and it works perfectly with client events, social media, giveaways, all of that stuff. You want your brand to be polished, and having media people or media representatives that you can go to is a big deal. That's why Mark is taking photos right there, right now. So when we look up at these events, you get 10 touch points per event before it ever happens. This is contacting every single person in your network, your database, giving them something. What is worse than the phone call of the person saying, hey, I'm just reaching out. You're like, I see the phone ringing. They haven't called me in about 8 years. And they say, just saw you had a baby. Do you guys have insurance? Oh, I've been calling you about Advocare. Oh, have you seen the new essential oils? Any of those calls, none of us want. And if we're the one making those calls, I hope it is coming from a place of relationship and not abuse of that relationship. But in the end, at the end of the day, with this strategy and these touch points, you're offering something to someone. You're not bugging them. You're bringing value. And if you do that for one event well, before the event ever happens, you have 10 touch points. The event. Some of you are quivering in your boots that what if no one shows up? That's the scary part. Guess what? Media can work magic. If you get one person there, have them smile real big and take one really great picture. At the end of the day, you get to paint the story, and nothing kills me more than people online, especially realtors, and I'm just going to say it. If you're online complaining, what could be worse for your brand than talking about how hard life is or how things aren't going your way or how your clients are annoying? Guess who hates you now? All your future clients hate you. Don't do it anymore. So the reality is with these events, you're getting to bring people in, have a fantastic time, and whether you have 5, 15, 25, 100, 1,000, or 3,000, which is possible because we've done it, RSVPs to your event, all of these people are positively associating with you, your brand, and trusting you. And if that event is well run, do you think they can trust you to run a real estate transaction? So as you continue to build this, don't think that you have to come out and run a barren group event right out of the gates. What you need to do is get out of your shell, contact your people, and add value. You can do that in your way. For us, what that has transitioned into as local people with lots of connections is incredibly large and fun events 4 times a year, 10 touch points per event, photos and videographer at every single event, posting all of those afterwards, sending them to specific people. If you get a great photo of some kids from your church and you want to send that, download it, send it to them and say, thank you guys for coming. It was awesome to have you. Here's this photo. Guess who puts that photo on their Facebook page? Tons of your clients. They're working for you at this point because you added value and they enjoy coming and hanging out with you. Now, you're wondering, what kind of events does this psychopath run? He's bringing 3,000 RSVPs in. What is this guy doing? We have done a comedy night with Trey Kennedy, which was one of my favorites of all time because it was this. It was an introduction with a microphone to over 2,000 people. That was right at 2,000. I don't want to lie to you. 2,000 people and getting to throw probably $4,000 or $5,000 worth of Barron Group swag into the crowd. We did stickers under the chairs for a surprise and delight. And if you had a golden ticket under your chair, you got a $150 gift card to the local steakhouse. You can turn these things into fun, entertaining, unpredictable adventures for the people that are showing up. And guess what? They stop asking, what's the catch, really quickly when you start to do this consistently. To my mailer people out there, to my door knockers out there, do you try it once and stop? No. If you try it once and stop, you'll never know what was possible. You didn't create any momentum, and you can't even play red light, green light when you're just stopping. With client events, I need you to not just give 1 a shot. I don't want you to give 2 a shot. I want you to try this for a year, and I want you to put your foot down and choose things, wait for it, that you enjoy and your target will enjoy. My 11-year-olds from church don't want an open bar. They want to jump on trampolines, so we're taking them to the trampoline park. They also don't want to go to a dance club. What they want to do is go to a pumpkin patch and have a photographer there to take their pictures, and we send them free family photos, which they all change into their profile picture. There are ways to target your people who are going to be different than my people. Your market is going to be different than my market, but what I can tell you about this, humans want to be known, loved, accepted, and invited. And when they are, they will rally for your team and become super fans in a way that you could have never imagined. So, this year, what we've realized is we want some consistency. And over the last 5 years as we've done this, we've established our staple events that are every year, and we are being contacted 4 months in advance by hundreds of people asking what the date is going to be for these events. So as you're doing this, my advice to you, for the big ones, give yourself 60 days to market, find your touch points, your ways to get it done. For smaller ones, you can give yourself a minimum of 30 days if you want to do this well. And at the end of the day, you are going to be having not just your groomsmen or your bridesmaids and your best friends and their kids, but when you open it up for them to bring their friends, you hear things like I heard at a listing appointment a year ago. Hey, you don't know us, but we know Mike and Beth. And we came to your Reds game. And your other Reds game. And that comedy night. And we want to buy a house and sell it, and you're the one we're working with. Are you sick of competition? How about you win them before they ever need to sell their house? This is an absolute way to cement yourself as a value-driven person, an incredible agent. And guess what? As I said, it partners perfectly to showcase this on social media to show people what they missed. Or if they're looking you up for the first time, they see that you are fun. With the Barron Group, it's this. If it makes us more fun and more trusted, I'm about it. If it does anything else, we probably don't need it. With client events and with events in general, here is my final advice for you. This is a contact sport. Only you know your people. Plan for them, rally for them, create fun memories, target the whole family and not just the individuals, and you are going to have a blast in this business. And I said this to someone who had told me they'd hit a ceiling in their business and lost a little bit of their joy. They said, why do you love this industry so much? I said, 4 times a year, I have the best days of my year with all of my people doing something I love, likely eating Chick-fil-A that we provided. That is what keeps me coming back to events. Thank you, guys. Hope it was helpful.